This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
One of the more interesting reverb pedals that I think has come out in recent years, Strymon announced this kind of mini version of one of their pedals. I don't know if we're going to see them bringing out lots more of this format, and essentially it was repurposing the cloud algorithm that you can get in the Big Sky reverb. Relatively expensive, I guess, for one algorithm, but they made one key update to it, which was this ensemble feature. Now, I've been listening to the demos, and essentially what it does is kind of add this sort of string pad to your reverb. Sounds really cool. I was wondering, could we do something like that in the Helix? So I've had an attempt at it. I don't know how close it gets. It does have a bit of a vibe. Doesn't necessarily sound as stringy as the actual Strymon thing, but I think maybe it gets us somewhere in the ballpark of this kind of idea of being able to add this sort of thing on top of the general reverb thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to try and get hold of a Strymon Cloudburst, I think, because, I don't know, it's got an interesting sound to me, and I wanted to explore that pedal a bit further. Let me know if you've got one as well, and your thoughts on it. Is that expensive, or do you think it's worth it? I think generally Strymon pedals do tend to be on the expensive side, but then at the same time, I think their reverbs have sounded good for about a decade, so let me know your thoughts on that. I'll just show you the preset now on the Helix. Oh, if you like the sound of this, I'll chuck it into the Gumroad folder. I think you'll only be able to run this on the full Helix because it's using quite a lot of DSP juice to be able to do this. So if you've got an HX Stomp or an HX Effect, I'm not sure you'll be able to do this on there. I might have a little look into it, but I think this might be a Helix only thing. Here's what I've ended up with. So with this ensemble button lit, at the moment that means that it's off, and it sounds like this. So basically now it's just some sort of kind of
long plate, which to me sounds a little bit like that spacey cloud thing, not Kevin. When I activate the ensemble, so let me just show you exactly what I've got going on here to achieve this. I'm not sure, let me know in the comments if you think this is getting sort of to the essence of what's going on or not. At the start I've just got a Fender Deluxe vibrato channel, so drive at about 3.4, so nice clean, bass at 5.8, mids at 5, treble at 5.4, presence off. Then a low-high shelf about 150, plus 7.8 just to move the low end a little bit. Into a Bluebell cab, 57 dynamic, and then the other cab, Bluebell with a 121 ribbon. So none of that particularly matters. Then I've got a split here. That's not quite what I wanted. Center, okay. And the split just goes down here. And on the top part of the split, I've got a dynamic plate with the 11-second decay, 10 milliseconds pre-delay, 12.5 the damping's at. These two are stock settings, and mix is at 25%. The high cut I've not touched probably, but anyway, that's sort of like just a very long kind of plate, trying to get that cloudy vibe. Then that goes into path 2A, and this one here, essentially I've got a gain block just turning down. This part here assigned to this switch, so when I turn that on, bypasses it, etc. You get the idea with that. And this goes down to path 2B. Now the important part on path 2B, I found I needed a noise gate really, because otherwise this gets kind of crazy noisy. So I've got a noise gate with the threshold at -48. And then here's a real key here. I'm going into the 12-string pitch up. On the pluck type fingerpick 2, I've dimed the bass and treble and the blend. This kind of adds those upper harmonics. As you can hear. Then I go into an auto volume echo legacy kind of delay swell thing. I think that's stock settings, but the mix a bit higher at 84. Then I go into a dynamic plate with the current settings, a 17.4 decay, 16.8 damping, the mix at 74%, and high cut, low cut where you see them. I've got a tremolo auto pan here, which I've left off for the moment. I'm then going into the LA Studio comp, peak reduction 8.1, gain at 3.6, compressed type, the level at -5.1, and the mix at 88. And that's basically all I've got going on there to try and achieve that sound of a synth. So I hope that helps you if you were looking for this kind of effect. I don't know how close it is, but to me it sounds pretty good regardless, so I thought I'd share that with you guys in case you were looking for this type of effect. Let me know if you want me to drop this into the cloud. It will only work really on Helix. If I got rid of the amp stuff at the top, you could probably run this as an effect. Well, probably not. I think this might be Helix only because it's quite intense in terms of 2 massive reverbs and a pitch effect. But yeah, let me know what you think of that. I'm going to try and get my hands on a Strymon Cloudburst if I can, because I do think it sounds like a really cool effect. But that's my attempt at getting that tone in a Helix.